here we were living back in Massachusetts, and back there when they do the medical checkups and so forth, and they take the blood tests and so forth, and they got, I got a panic call one day. We need you to come in and take another blood test. Thrombocytes is what are usually known of as platelets. They're what are used in the blood to help coagulate. And typically the normal range is 400 to 700, I think it's 1,000 per some quantity. Mine was at about, and they start to panic when it gets up around 700. Mine was at 1.5 million. So it was 2 to 3 times what they normally do, and they think, he's going to have a clotting problem. It's interesting. You'd like to think that when they're so thorough that they'd cover all the bases. I mean, he wanted me to go and be checked out by a cardiologist, and so we went through, and they ran me through a whole bunch of different tests looking for causes. They were even concerned, well, gee, maybe it was some kind of a cancer in the bone or something. So they even did a biopsy in the hip. And the ultimate, and this is interesting, diagnosis was essential thrombocytosis. And it wasn't till years later I was doing something else at work and came across what essential means in doctorese. Essential means they haven't the foggiest idea why. They don't know the cause. They just know the condition is there. Now, their concern was that I'd have a propensity to overpropensity to clot, and therefore they would have wanted to put me on blood thinners, and that would have been something they'd have had me on the rest of my life. My own feeling was, there's several things. One thing, to my knowledge, I don't know that they ever, when they did a blood test, start out and before they do anything else, do a clotting test to see how readily it did clot. Plus, I knew from shaving, and when I have a little pimple or something and it wants to bleed, even when and where it is now, I'm not completely sure. I know I had it that way for years, but even when it was at its strongest, I didn't have a problem with too fast to clot. I actually have a piece of alum that I use to get it to clot. And in this case, my feeling was, and I can't do this on the basis of anything I studied, it's just something I think Heavenly Father helped me to know. Actually, the problem was that there was something else wrong, and that the high platelet count, the thrombocyte, was the body's effort to compensate for some other problem so that it would be a better condition. Because even at the worst of it, I know I didn't have a high propensity to clot. My problem is getting it to clot when I'm trying to. In fact, the last few days I've had it several times where I've had to pull it out because to get it to clot. So it's important to make sure you understand why. And again, I would suggest trusting the heavens, your Heavenly Father. Reach out and try to listen so that you understand and know when you should do something and when you should not. I know even after we've moved here, there were times where it still registered high. I'm not sure where it registered the last time I had a blood test. I haven't been worried about it because I know it's not really a problem, even though symptomatically it looks like it would be a problem.